Welcome to the Sew at Peace channel. Here we make menstrual storage bags, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of my sewing room. I will also be showing you some items that I use to store my cam snaps and some of my straps that I pre-cut. So here is my Monstera. I have a marble queen pothos, a curly spider plant, aloe vera, pothos again, and peace lily. If you are a plant lover, you will know where the obsession is. I used to kill everything, and then I started doing some research on plants and discovered that they all do not require water every single day. So I think that was my problem, is I wasn't watering properly. Hello, Lori here. I just wanted to give you guys a tour of my room today. I launched my business just less than a week ago, so I'm kind of taking this time just to get a little bit more familiar with social media, get myself organized, just have certain systems in place. That way, when I do get busy, I will maximize my time and work efficiently. So let me show you guys around. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is this awesome little container I just purchased at Home Goods. I labeled it one compartment, 5-inch, 6.5, 14. This just stores my bias tape. These two are bias tapes, and this one is cotton twill. And then I have my fabric labels, which I'll be making more of as well. And over here, I have my brand new Juki sewing machine, which I purchased just for the business, and it works amazing. So much better than my older models. This one is semi-industrial, so the stitch quality is significantly better than the Singer machines that I have. Here's a little lava lamp that is my son's. He says he doesn't have room for it, so it's in here. Then I have these little compartments that I just purchased off of Amazon to store all of my cam snaps. So this is awesome. I just love it. So I have all the different colors here, and then each color consists of 3 parts. So it's mostly full. We'll see what other colors I need in the future so I can fill up those remaining 4 areas. And there's my plant that I just repotted. On this shelf, I have all of my shipping supplies in the top 2 gray compartments, and I have a scale and little storage items. I got that little cobalt tool chest to hold my Juki tools. And down here, I have this storage container, which is really awesome. So I'm able to label everything and know exactly where everything is. And over here I have my pegboard. So this was my original storage solution, but I have outgrown this board. So I have items stored everywhere in here. And then down below, I have a Singer heavy duty machine and this vintage sewing table that my mom refinished and gifted to me. Don't mind my baseboards. We are waiting for installation. This is a serger that I got last year for my birthday, and I got this so I can learn how to make some clothing items. And this giant storage shelving stores all kinds of miscellaneous craft items. I have everything labeled, so electronics, craft supplies, some fabrics. I have flannel fabrics on the top. Below are cotton and some other miscellaneous type fabrics. And then I have some bins with more fabric, yarn. I did try to take up crocheting, but discovered it was not for me. Um, and then over here, I just got these storage bins, and these are pretty good. The only negative thing I see with these is they're not very secure, so they will fall over from time to time. I might invest in some better ones later in the future. I think they were only $5 each at Target. And up top, we have my Barbie collection. It's just some of my Barbies. I used to collect Barbies when I was younger. My parents brought them to me about 3 years ago, so I had to make room for them. I don't want to get rid of them, so they're up here, and some of them are in my daughter's room. Those are super fun, all collectible Barbies. So here I am making some fabric labels just so I have some in stock and ready to go, because I'm hoping I will start getting some more orders soon. I know everything takes time, but I don't want to be in a crunch later. And while I have the time, I might as well start prepping some items that I can. I received 3 orders last week from friends and relatives. It was a good learning experience for me to learn how to ship out items with Shopify. It wasn't too complicated. I was a bit nervous about it, but everything went well. I don't know what that is hanging off my shirt there, but don't mind it. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I got started sewing. So my grandma, she used to sew clothes when I was younger. She would sew my cousins and I handmade dresses and matching scrunchies. So we'd all be matching with, bright gold attire. It's pretty hilarious now looking back at the clothing that she made us. I mean, it was a good quality, but just the look itself was pretty funny. I mean, pretty outdated nowadays. I just always admired her passion for sewing. I think every time I went to her house, I would catch her in her sewing room. It was actually in her bedroom. She had a little desk in her and her sewing table. She told me that she started sewing because they didn't have a lot of money. So it was cheaper back then to make clothing versus buying them at the stores, which is pretty hilarious now because the clothing or the fabrics seems to be very expensive nowadays. So I don't know that it's as cost efficient as it used to be. So my mom, she had actually bought a sewing machine, I think sometime around when I was in high school. And she didn't really use it, I think, as much as she had intended to. So when I left, she had asked me if I wanted it. And I said, yeah, I will definitely try to teach myself how to sew. So I watched some YouTube videos and read the manual and figured out how to do it. It was pretty fun to learn, just a little bit frustrating. The machine that she gave me was a brother machine. It was just like a really basic machine. And the tension on that thing was so difficult to deal with. So I made it work for as long as I could. And then my mother-in-law, she was getting rid of her machine, which had an automatic tension. It was a Singer machine. So she asked me if I wanted to purchase it from her. So I did. And I love that machine. That thing has been great so far. And then I invested in my Singer heavy duty machine because I was trying to make a cover for our old side by side. It didn't have any type of top. So when we went out riding, it was pretty miserable with the sun beating down on you. So that one's been great too. They just both have little issues with like the thread popping out. So little things like that is just kind of annoying. But I mean, for the most part, they're pretty good. My brother machine is still here. It just sits and collects dust. I'll probably let my daughter use that one when she wants to. Well, actually, she's already expressed an interest in learning to sew, but I'm just a little bit nervous to let her because I've heard about people sewing their fingers and stuff like that. So I just don't want to take the risk right now. My first project was an apron. So I should have started out just by making a simple apron, but I decided to get fancy with my quilting squares, and it took me a lot longer than I had hoped. The next project that I learned to do was making rag quilts. So I made myself a pink rag quilt. I just made like the size of a throw, that I felt like was a more advanced technique, something that I didn't really want to learn how to do at that time. Rag quilts are easy because they don't require any binding. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I had taken a year off of work. So I decided to make an actual baby quilt for her with binding, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It was just really time consuming, but I had fun making it, and that's all that matters. I also made my dog a rag quilt because she loved to use mine and she was getting it all stinky. So I wanted her to have her own, but she still went back to mine. I think it might be because her smell was already on there and she knew. I told her, not many dogs get to get their own handmade quilt, but she didn't care. All right, well, this concludes my video, and thank you guys for listening to me talk. And here's a little sneak peek of my chicks.